Good evening. Welcome to the second Lit at Night. This is a series that we hope to do quarterly. We did our first in July during Art Town, and it was pretty fun, so we want to keep these going. Thank you to Studio 4th, to Dennis and Doug for hosting us. And I'm just going to get it right into it. All of you have likely seen by now the pink Post-it notes and pens that are on your tables and chairs. What these are for your deepest, darkest secrets. I am really curious what's going on under there, and I think our audience probably is too. And so as we go out through the evening, I will be collecting these from any of you who dare to put your secrets down anonymously, and I will come up and read them periodically as we go through our list of readers tonight. If anyone else wants to sign up, I have the sign-up sheet. We've got a full 10 right now, but I'm happy to sign up some more, and we can just kind of keep it going. Anybody who'd like to, if you get brave later, you didn't intend to read right now, but you know, at number 10, you've had a few drinks, you're ready to go, just let me know. And over here in the corner, under the cabaret sign, you will see a table with something a little bit different going on. What we have here are Love and Sex Fortunes by Madame Quasar. And so she will be channeling some advice and information for you related to love and sex this evening in exchange for tips, and she can give you more information about that. So you can see her anytime throughout the evening that we are here. I will also be asking sometime around intermission, around number 4 or 5 or 6, for a couple of volunteers from the audience. And so if you are literature fans and you're feeling a little bit brave, just be thinking about that. I am going to kick off the evening with just a very short little piece to set the mood. And it's something I wanted to write because I think I hear the phrase a lot, you know, such and such saved my ass, or so and so saved my ass. And I'm just thinking, you know what? More than that, my ass has saved me from so many things. So I just wrote a little bit called Things My Ass Has Saved Me From. And when I started making this list, I was amazed at how long it is. Things my ass has saved me from. Ever having to ask if something makes my butt look fat? Bruising in spin class. And a broken tailbone anytime I attempt to ski. A broken pelvis when I fell off Mount Shasta. I can tell you that story later. Belts of any kind for any reason. All the money I would have spent on low-rise jeans. A career as an Olympic figure skater. Having to share a seat with anyone ever. Being the one sent through the window when your family gets locked out. Men who lack imagination. And finally, all the girls who ever wanted to kick my ass, but know that that foot would land like a postage stamp on the map of the world. Okay, without further ado, I would like to introduce the very lovely and luscious Isabel Fagawaga.
So, I have for you a love poem that is perhaps a little cornier or cheesier than I would like, but it is true, on a subject matter that I never thought I would ever in my freaking life be writing a love letter about. So here we go. Love letter to my insecurities. I know, right? Like, hello. For without you, insecurities, I would never have been fed up enough to seek out the path to love and healing, so broad and full of depth. For without you, insecurities, I would not have had the drive to learn to truly trust my heart, to trust love, God, Goddess, and my intuition. For without you, insecurities, I would not have the motivation to find the magic in my thighs, my hips, my breasts, belly, lips, and arms. For without you, insecurities, I would not have the courage to be fully vulnerable and seen. For without you, insecurities, I would not fully appreciate when I am wanted by a lover, taken into their embrace fully, lips clinging to one another. For without you, insecurities, I would not know how strong, capable, and persevering I am. I would never know the full meaning of yes, I can. Yes. Fantastic. For without you, insecurities, I would not know the empathy of looking into another human being's eyes and relating to their fear, self-judgment, and heartbreaking doubt. For without you, insecurities, I wouldn't have the motivation to dance it all out each and every time. We already talked about that this evening, dancing it out. For without you, insecurities, I wouldn't have made the choices I have and therefore learn to, with each passing day, love and forgive myself. For without you, insecurities, I would not know the truth of who I really am. You shattered me, open into darkness where the light shone even brighter. You have allowed me to relate, connect, empathize. Therefore, I stand in full gratitude and love. Sincerely, Isabel Fagawaga. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Isabel. Does anyone have any secrets ready for me? Put them in the air if you have them. If you don't have them yet, please get them ready. Thank you. Next up, we have El Bajo.
I thought I was number 3.
You are. I was number 1. I'm going to sneak these in.
Hey, lock the doors. They're going to leave. You can put a chair out here.
You want a chair? Sure.
You're done. Where's Annalise? Triple for everything.
Do you want me to adjust this here for you?
Is there enough light? Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I've got to get that. Are they ready for me?
I don't know.
All right. What am I supposed to do with my water? What else? Bring it. God dang it. Whoa. Can you hear? Oh, wow. I can even hear it. Wow. Okay. I'm holding my water. How can I read holding my water? This is your, well, you should be. Okay. All right. I'm not a poet. I want you to know that. But I do love reading other people's poetry. And I'm going to read some of Naomi Grady's poetry. I'm sure some of you know her. She passed away a while ago, and her son is here, Sean, a friend of mine. So I'm going to read a few of her poems. This one's called Lady of Grace. She stands in front of the checkout counter, slowly, hands trembling. She hands over the money, the paper bills shaking with a slippery sound as she makes sure they reach the cashier's hand. Her hands are like gnarled roots of old trees that reach above the earth's surface, her fingers tightly folded onto each other, the joints of her knuckles, wrists, arms, elbows, having become golf ball-sized marbles, carbuncles of a bruised ochre color. She's a small woman with a bone-thin stick figure, yet despite her disability, she moves her hands with economy, and a strange silky grace, concentrating on what she's doing. The others in the line are patient, seem willing to wait as the clerk returns the woman's change. Bill by bill, coin by coin. The woman smiles, thank you for having something to return to her wallet with less effort. May I help you to your car, the bag boy asks. The woman smiles and laughs. Oh yes, she says, in a surprisingly lovely voice. And you can come home with me too, help unload the groceries. Wish I could, ma'am, wish I could, he says. He takes her basket, pushes it out the door. She follows slowly with small, very small steps, keeping up with him. Slowly, very slowly, her feet getting her where she wants to go. Again, lovely. Do another one? I have 4 hours worth of poetry here. One more? Okay. Okay, this is Boy with a Power of More. It is the first machine that he's ever driven, this rumbling green pod that looks like a sea turtle, but acts like a bucking horse. The boy was forced to his will. His short arms strain, his body braces to hold on as he fights to keep the whining beast from grabbing at forbidden ground in its greed for more fodder. The boy must prove himself, master of the beast, drive it to follow the route he has mapped. The straight lines marching up the length of the lawn and down the other. At the turns, the beast pulls away, battling the boy from his course. But the boy, leaning into the turns, wrestles the beast around, his hands holding on to the power. Thank Naomi Grady for it. Who's going to help me out? What is this? Do your job, woman. God, look at me. I'm an old man.
Thank you, El Bajo. All right. I've got our first few secrets. I'm going to read one. I truly fall in love with 80% of human beings. The other 20%, I don't really care. Okay. Please welcome Dr. Dilworth. Does anybody else have any secrets right now? Thank you.
I should have secrets. It's kind of overrated. Secrets here, secrets there. All right. So it's been a while since I've done this before. A couple years. I live in the desert now. And I have a story I could read, but I don't think you're in the mood for stories. You want sex.
Woo!
Well, depending on the time. Well, it's not really sexy, it's depressing. But it's not depressing. what Ava wanted. All she had ever wanted, really, was to have a happy ending. All her study and toil and sacrifices had been directed to a happy ending for someone. She never felt she had deserved one herself deep down. It made sense to her. That was why she had made and developed the mica crystal technology, gone to MIT and Stanford, left Goldfield and the people who loved her, then returned to give something back for a happy ending for someone, if not her. They didn't think her research was a joke anymore. That was for sure. Ava, she hated her first name since it was thought to be unusual. Her parents went on a trip to Tuscany in the summer, and as they drove over a bridge, it crossed the river Idis. So they named their first daughter Idis Ava Sator. Ava was the name of her grandma, who had been named by her parents, who taught Latin and Greek, and felt the name, which meant bringer of life in Latin, was right for her daughter, who made them restart and rethink their lives. She laughed about it to herself all the time. It had all started when Ava was 9 and wandering around town on a four-wheeler. Although she ran around with all the other kids too, she would often go off and explore the area around Goldfield herself. Ava's favorite spot was under Columbia Mountain in its shade over by the old stamp mill, where she had first found microcrystals on top of a hill made up of mine tailings. The microcrystals made her happy, calm, focused. Many times in her young life, Ava went up to her hill, all times of day and all the time, to be somewhere. Her best friend, Emily, was there much of the time, too, along with many other friends, parents, and visitors to Goldfield. She always had microcrystals around her, and she was obsessed by them. For her science project in 5th grade, she studied them and their electronic properties. Using screwdrivers, some copper wires, a 9-volt battery, and some needle-nose clipped wires, she demonstrated the properties of mica and used it to power a small drone. Ava won the school and county science fair and even went so far to win the Southern Nevada Science Fair in Las Vegas. The next year she did the same thing and went all the way again through to the high school in Tonopah. Microcrystals are what brought her to MIT and Stanford. Microcrystals got her hired for the Department of Defense, helped her become a contractor for several defense companies, and helped her develop the mica crystal technology. At a quantum level, Ava was able to manipulate mica and its atoms to create easy fusion reactions with a little radiation and no wasted energy. The Sartor technique became the standard way to run power plants, cars, spacecraft, airplanes, and the majority of machines, which made human technological society viable. At a certain point, life became a burden for Ava. She had everything society said that she should want: a wife and 3 children, a successful and well-paid career, accolades, fame, fortune, glory. Everything. But life was a burden for Ada, since she felt she had wanted a happy ending. Not the kind you get after a massage, but a good result in life. Ava found herself midway through her life with all the trappings of a good life, but she had not yet had a good result, so she felt. She remembered and thought about all the time a girl she had grown up with, her best friend, Emily. Emily and her parents lived in a one-room miner's shack. The mom worked at the Goldfield store, and her dad had worked for the mine and was never home. Emily was quiet and kept to herself, but was always open and happy to be around Ava. She was at Ava's side for all her science fair victories, concerts, and plays they performed in and went to in Las Vegas and Tonopah, at the dances, playing and fighting against basketball teams from Gabs and Beatty, and at prom. Almost everything all the way until graduation. Ava tried to keep in touch with Emily. She Skyped her. She wrote her postcards, sent her instant messages, texts, but they drifted apart. Emily and she had grown apart since their lives had become so different. Emily went to Great Basin Community College and got an associate's degree in business, then went to cosmetology school in Las Vegas. When she was in Las Vegas, she met a guy who was a teacher, and she married him. They both moved back to Goldfield and started a family, and it ended up with 2 kids. Emily worked in the hair salon in Tonopah and then started her own in Goldfield. But life had become a burden for Emily, and she committed suicide. Emily killing herself devastated Goldfield and Tonopah and all the people who had known her. She left no note and had seemed no reason for it. Ava heard about Emily's suicide when she was at a scientific conference in London. Apart from occasional messages, holiday wishes, and pictures shared, they hadn't talked in years. But it hit Ava hard. She went back to her hotel room and cried for the rest of the night. Ava called Rosa to tell her the news, and they cried together over the phone. After she slept a couple hours, Ava packed, went to Heathrow Airport, and went home. As she sat in the airplane flying over the Atlantic Ocean, she slept and dreamed. She found herself back in the shadow of Columbia Mountain at the bottom of a tailing pile. Ava turned around and saw Emily coming down the mountain behind her, walking right up to her. Ava had never met her as an adult, but she still looked like she had when she had seen her after high school. Emily had long black hair which fell down from her head to her shoulders. She was well-built, but short in stature, a woman who loved to run, hike, bike, and was always moving. She was dressed all in black blouse, black pants, and black riding boots, with a backpack around her shoulders, with mica crystals poking out of its top. Emily smiled at Ava and hugged her. Emily then took a step back and broadly smiled at her own friend. Ava tried to speak, but was unable to when Emily put her finger to her mouth and shushed her. "I'm sorry I left you, and I'm very sorry we didn't talk anymore. I have something for you." Emily took her backpack from her shoulders, laid it on the ground, opened the top, and pulled out a crystal. Then she took Ava's arm, pulled out her hand and opened it, and put the crystal in her palm, then closed the hand on it. "Make it, build it, do it." Emily looked straight at Ava with her light green eyes, blinked at her, and the dream was over. After a long time afterwards, Ava wondered what the dream meant, but she knew that Emily had come to see her before she went wherever she went next. But that last thing she had said made her wonder. Until she was almost retired, she did not know that she needed to make the Serendipity Machine. It was an idea that had always rolled around her head for years as a proof of concept with the mica crystal technology. The machine would scan a person's thoughts and give them what they most desired in a way that they least expected it. Since the Sartor process was able to transmute one form of matter into another at a quantum level, the machine could do this without any problem. Most of the time, it would be a small thing, something that would make the person laugh or smile. But sometimes, it might make the life of the person a little less of a burden. Ava incorporated into the machine's scan a way to detect depression. If the person that used it were depressed, it would recognize it and would follow this protocol. A holographic recording of Ava would appear, and for the person who was depressed, she would offer them something serendipitous, which would make their life better. Since she knew that most people were depressed to a greater or lesser degree, Ava made the machine only work for those who were clinically or nearly suicidally depressed, to hope that she might do some good in the world. When she unveiled the Serendipity Machine at her lab, most people thought it was a trick, like the old mechanical Turk had been years before. The Turk was an early robot that was made to look like a Turkish man and sat in a box. Inside the box, an operator made the Turk move and change the positions of chess pieces. Ava's biggest critics said, at least the Turk could do something useful, like play chess. This machine just gives people what they want. And Ava could only smile at that. After Ava retired from her lab and her independent consultation for the United States government, the Serendipity Machine went where she wanted it to go, the Goldfield Visitor Center at the rest stop. Most people thought it was a trick and a joke, and they just left it alone. Ava let it go and simply let it go to do its work. While Ava was alive, the Serendipity Machine would send notifications to tell her what it gave the people who asked it. It gave all kinds of things to people. Chewing gum, first editions of books, cars to keys or trucks that would appear in the parking lot at the rest stop, wedding rings, 1960 Mercury dimes, a pair of phylacylines, Joshua trees, ghosts, more microcrystals, and many other things. Only once did it give something to someone clinically depressed, a time machine, the first one ever in the world. Ava hoped that would lighten someone's burden, and she felt that with the Serendipity Machine, someone, or many someones, would have a happy ending, perhaps to make up for what happened to Emily and her burden. Thank you. Can I read one more poem? Do I have time? It's sexy. No, it is sexy. But, you know, you said you wanted something not sexy, so I showed you. I have all kinds of things. I have all kinds of things. I wrote
was
sexy.
going to reprimand you, but then I thought there are some people, you're talking about quantum mechanics, and so there are
Yes.
some people who would find that erotic. So
Well, it is erotic. Well, absolutely. And then again, I have a poem.
If you have secrets, hold them up for me while we're reading.
Yes, indeed. I have a secret. I don't have any more secrets. So, I have a poem called Particles and Waves. It's a sexy poem. Sigh for sigh, moan for moan, we kiss and just groan. All our clothes fly off in a pile, like us while we embrace, caress, touch, and tingle. Bodies and arms intermingle. I feel you so closely, in waves and particles at once. It all shimmers and shines. Walls fall down and the roof comes up. In each other's arms, then, rest for a long night ahead. And I have another sexy poem if you'll indulge me for another short, sexy poem.
Is it short? Okay, do it.
It's a short, sexy poem, yes. One kiss turns to 12. Your glasses came off. They were steamed up anyway. I fell into your eye and thought I heard you say something. We kissed again, and you said no, although I heard you sigh and cry, since eyes never lie. We closed them and kissed. Hands went forward, then under and through. The lights never went on, since we had so much to see.
Thank you, Dr. Dilworth.
Thank you.
All right, I have a secret here for you. I masturbate using the floor. We got to think about that one. Okay, right now I would like, that's going to set in kind of a delayed reaction. Okay, right now I would like 4 volunteers from the audience, preferably people who do not know each other. And we're going to do this in 2 sets of 2. One here. Lenny? Okay, both of you come up this way. Who else? Come on up. Anybody else? I need a 4th, yes. All right. And the second set can't back out once they see what the first set's doing. Okay, so we're going to start with this first one. We'll go with you and Lenny. And Lenny, you're going to read her this letter on stage. Come on up. You can have one. Let's get nice and close together. And this is from the selected letters of James Joyce, an excerpt from a letter he sent in December 1909. It's a bonus if you can look each other in the eye while this is happening.
You shouldn't ask that of her, for God's sakes. Poor kid. I could be a grandfather. Jesus. How old are you? 24. What? 24. God. My daughter's twice your age. Okay. All right. You seem anxious to know how I... All right, let's get... Okay. Whoa. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, all right. You seem anxious to know how I received your letter, which you say is worse than mine. How is it worse than mine, love? Yes, it is worse in one part or two. I mean the part where you say what you will do with your tongue. I don't mean sucking me off. That's what it says. And that lovely word you write so big and underline, you little vixen. It's thrilling to hear that word on a girl's lips, but I wish you spoke of yourself and not of me. Write me a long letter full of that and other things about yourself, darling. You know now how to give me a cockstand. Tell me the smallest things about yourself, so long as they are obscene and secret and filthy. Write nothing else. Let every sentence be full of dirty, immodest words and sounds. They're all lovely to hear and see on paper, even but the dirtiest are the most beautiful. Well, that's finished. What else you want?
Thank you for these two good sports. And now, for the two of you, we're going to read from Nicholas Baker's Vox. Oh, there you go.
Do I have to look her in the eyes, right?
As much as possible while reading.
All right.
Excellent job.
I run my fingers just down the long place where the insides of your thighs touch, all the way to your knees, and then I'd let go of your legs and they'd fall slightly apart. And as my hands started to move up inside them, with my fingers splayed wide, they'd move farther and farther apart. And then I'd lift your knees and hook them over the arms of the armchair so that you were wide open for me. And in the darkness, your bush would still be indistinct, and I'd look up at you, and I'd move on my knees so I'm closer, so I could slide my cock in you if I wanted to. And I'd touch your shoulders with my hands, and I'd pass my fingertips all the way down over your breasts, over your stomach, and just lightly over your bush, just to feel the hair, and then say, I'm going to lick you now. And I'd lick both your nipples once very briefly goodbye, and I'd breathe my way down. And as I pass over your bush, this time with my mouth, and I see where the tan stops and where the hair begins, and I keep going, and your legs are spread, and so I kiss inside one knee, and then across to the other, and up, back, and forth, and at that end of each kiss, I give a little upward lick with my tongue, up, lick, 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 back and forth, moving closer and closer to where your thighs meet.
One more secret, and then we are going to take a brief intermission, about 5 minutes for drinks and bathroom. Next up is, I have a thing for the bartender. Okay, we will reconvene in about 5 minutes. Couple of things. First, don't forget that you have the opportunity to have your love and sex fortune read over in the back corner over here from Madame Quasar. And I wanted to let you know that there's no cover here tonight, but we are accepting donations to further literary programming in Reno. If you would like to give a donation of any amount, spare change, $1, $5, it would sure be appreciated. And you can find me and put it in my little pussy pouch that I have for donations. I will let you do it too. Okay, I've got one more secret and then we will introduce our next reader. Male gay porn is my preference, and I am a straight female. With that, we are introducing Josue Veladez.
All right, hey everyone. Can you guys hear me? Sure. All right, so I had some pieces I was going to do originally, but then they said I need to do something sexy, so. Yeah, that's one straight got me. So to quote the great, I lost it. Hold on. All right, fuck it. Here goes. I know. All right. Shit, dude, I got to get serious. Hold on. All right. Babylon about Babylon. Could really give a fuck what's right or wrong. After some time, felt my conscience was conned. In bliss, so why evolve? Rather stay human with no restitution for all the damn deeds that I'll be doing. Killing myself, then the noose loosened. Shooting at Cupid, I became ruthless. Fan my flames with fine feathered fiends. Wings flapping and they came in 3 stings. Elope with the bee that pollinated the apple tree, the ones that planted the seeds. The devilish relics I relish in, lifting up her angelic dress, and their eyes met, life and death blessed. That's the night when angels, demons slept. Angels, demons slept. Heard no breath. Ear to her chest. Only lust left. You ain't dreaming tonight. You ain't dreaming tonight. Try to reach new peaks, try to reach new heights. She was an angel seeking chaos. He was a demon seeking peace. Release of relief, dreaming evil deeds. Just got to set them free. All right. I have one more. I hope I can remember it. All right. Wrapped in my arms as we're counting stars. Hop on my shoulders, we reach up. We should make the Mars. Got me feeling like Atlas. Where's the world above me, the universe's new axis. A late night blackness will act as all canvas. Queen of color in your palace. Got me drinking your tea, preventing any madness. But everywhere we travel, a wonderland. Your name must be Alice. Let's travel deeper. Let's travel deeper. Down the rabbit hole we go, let's travel deeper. Fuck gravity, you the pool. Touch your body, pitch your spirit. Nothing off limits. When we caught in our feelings, we become fearless. Your angelic appearance. Leave the wings off, but the clothes are constrictive. To you, I'm addicted. Tu piel es miel so delicious. When you turn to liquid, I be drifting. In the depth of your eyes, I be sinking. When your halo hymns means that I got you singing. We in each other lost, oh barren raw. Ferocious feline, so claw and leave your mark. You, my treasure, I find every spot. Your lips are so lovely. A cream drenched in honey. Run my tongue down your tummy. I'll be the king if you be the wifey. I'll marry your souls for midnight until it gets sunny.
Thank you, Josue. Our next secret. I really like him, but he's insecure and still married. Next, please welcome the incomparable Elisa Garcia.
All right, so hi, my name is Elisa Garcia, and I feel like the audience needs to loosen up a little bit, because everyone's coming up here and like, y'all are so quiet. But just what we do at slams is we let the poet or the performer know how we're feeling. So we do things like snap when you like a line from someone. So can you guys give me some sexy raindrops? Okay, sexy, you're good at that, see? You already got that. And then if you like a line and it's just delicious and you want to let the poet know that you feel like that line was so tasty, you say, can I get a good from everyone? And then my favorite is when people really like what a poet is saying and they go, yes, poet, yes. Can you guys give me your best? Yes, poet. Okay. So I just want y'all to come alive. There's booze. You guys are drinking. Like, feel vibey. Get weird. Get weird. With that said, so the first poem I'm going to do is actually more about confidence. And I think that confidence is super sexy. So I'm going to do this poem. There's a reason why my skirt is so short, so. Hey. But yeah, so this poem is not by me. This poem is by Nick Alea, and they are a trans queer poet. And this poem meant a lot to me, so I decided to share it with you. It is called Thunder Thighs. Also, I just realized my shirt's hella see-through, so you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Let me get serious, guys. Okay. Ballooning out from your denim, your work boots, your high heels, those cottage cheese limbs tackling your bones, you growing up and outward, girl, boy, I see you. When the girls turn their jaws like weather vanes to smirk at my gut, to tell me my belly is covered in state lines, looks like maps and horrible highways, that my tits sag like a bad joke, that somehow I am more milk, my jelly roll undeserving, clogging itself in a burden of scratch marks. Pulls at the skin, sparks thunder, a fleshy flint, the kind of ripple that looks like sand when it's disturbed. Here's me in a floral head wreath, trying for days to be a porcelain doll, to climb the mountain without busting out this flab, whale bones, elephant tusks, beans crushed under my fists. I am learning how to say I love you and mean it. But today, I feel fat and not in the fun way. It is a miracle to be complicated and stagnant, to book the date of the surgery, to pull at the skin, to call yourself prom queen and then burn the dress. My sweet flabby pies grinning with electric lips and tornado want. My belt buckle bulging like a rose about to burst. Smell suckles, smell like salt flattened human being, digging up crystals to give light from the folds in my belly. I am not fat because the middle school boys used to tell me I am. I just am. So here's you in a dim-lit bedroom with your magic down and your voice cracking like ice on sweet grass. So we say together, Thunder Thighs, you goddamn love story. You perfectly gendered slabs of meat. You craters of skin that just can't get enough of each other. I see you. All right. Now we're going to get real serious. Thank you, guys. So this poem is actually by Denise Jolly, who is a fat queer femme poet from the Bay Area. And I met her, and when she saw me, she's like, you don't look like you would compete in poetry slams. And I was like, I know. It's weird. But I do. So it's very intimidating. And I was like, all right, here we go. But yeah, so... This is quite possibly the most serious poem I've ever read, so. I love dick. With its head pressed up against my lips, balls resting gently against my chin, this is what I call poetry. I love early morning rising dick. Mid-afternoon wanna take it all in. Your ass looks so sweet. I have to rock you right fucking now, dick. I love a dick that can flick a clit while it's working it. That's right. In case you haven't guessed it, I love me some dick. I'll admit it. I love big dick. The kind of big dick that forces small-bodied women into fetal position. That's the dick for me. Especially when it's curved, just so. That G-spot poppin', gonna tell my cervix hello type of dick. I love a dick when, if at first it don't succeed, it gets right back up and starts over. I love a dick that should be photographed because God couldn't have created something that perfect by accident, so there has to be record of it. I love dick, but dick gets me into trouble, eludes me to love, leaves me dickmatized. My friends and I will talk of it for hours. We find ourselves in bars, listing out names for it. I stick to the classics like dick, penis, Johnson, junk, prick, chubby, main vein, John Thomas, noodle dingle, sausage member, and my all-time favorite, cock. For me, saying the word cock comes from two places, my throat and the walls of my vagina. It's like a mating call, an ass shake, a mist of pheromones. It's me telling you, studio, come inside. You all are welcome. So you can see, I'm sure, why Dick and I have an on-again, off-again relationship. Perhaps I should invest in a seasonal dick ideology. I'll meet a dick, we hit it off, find common ground, learn what each other likes, spend weekends together, sifting between food, movies, and each other. Soon, days become weeks, weeks become months, and bang. The prick that cradles the dick starts to take over. He begins to speak for the dick. Says things like, "This is getting way too serious. I think we should see other people. It's not you, it's me." What he doesn't realize is it's not about him, it's about me and his dick. But how can I explain this to him without hurting his feelings? So I do not. So I amicably accept defeat and move on to the next season. But studio, are you there? Yeah. I've found an alternative. I found a solution. The holy grail to the dick dilemma. It's thanks to the makers of the copper top Duracell AA battery. Yeah. This time it's all about me type of dick. Because more often than not, I am better off playing alone. Thank you.
If ever there were a pair of poems emblematic of Lit at Night, that would be them. All right, next secret, interesting. I'm not sure whether or not I love you. Me, you, we, he. Next, please welcome Cheyenne Lester.
Okay, so these readings are for my disdain for the hookup culture and social media. Okay. Reno Brad _666 doesn't like my poetry. He would never take the time to read it anyways. Reno Brad _666 does, however, like the only two attention-seeking, ego-boosting selfies I've ever posted. Reno Brad _666 expects you to draw our panties at the sight of his comics, though, and he's no John Soranko. The only lines he's ever read were nightly in powdered form staring back at him from dirty mirrors. Reno Brad _666 likes the curvature of your lips, but not your lips. Excuse me. Reno Brad likes the curvature of your hips, but not the curvature of your lips as words escape them. Oh no, he likes those silent, agreeable types, the ones whose ears were made for listening solely to him. Reno Brad 666 has a black cat just like mine, but he forgets to feed him frequently. Reno Brad _666 has an obsession with horror movies as well, but he will question any woman who would ever be so cool enough to be interested in the same shit he has been since her young mind could remember. Reno Brad _666 has a tattoo of Satan whispering into his ear, and that's exactly how I feel when I drunkenly answer his phone call at 2 a.m. Reno Brad _666 loves Bowie just as much as I do, and he's a rebel, and I'm into those types, but not so much anymore. Reno _Brad 666 carries 2 Sharpies in his back pocket, one for sketches and one for phone numbers. You know, because he doesn't own an iPhone. Reno Brad _666 will laugh at your cheesy jokes, and you'll even test him for a bit and notice how his nose flares when he's not fully telling the truth. Reno Brad _666 is cute. I'll give him that. 6'3" and deep eyes like feral waves I could get lost in if he'd let me. He reminds me of why I've always thought that my soul belonged to a different time. Back when love letters were found in the next page of a book or an unopened mailbox instead of disguised as, "Hello, beautiful," on an unread text message in the middle of the day. Reno Brad _666 says one thing, but he means the next. But I finished one too many Dean Koontz novels to know what's really on his mind. So don't reply, don't heart, and don't like. It's a trap. Your panties are far too expensive for dirty floors. Keep them on and unfollow the masses of Reno Brad _666. They come quicker than they leave, and you've always liked the holy number 3 anyways.
That was awesome. Are you sure you don't have any more? Okay. Thank you, Cheyenne. Just a quick announcement. If you're interested in other events by Sierra Literary Cooperative and our kind of gang of merry literary people here, you can find us on Facebook, Sierra Literary Cooperative. Our next secret, I like to imagine wringing people's necks as I smile at them. Some people are into that too. All right, next up, please let's welcome Pan Joja.
Yes! Yes! How many people like fucking? God bless it. Yes. Is that, I did that wrong. I'm sorry, I moved too fast. I'm Pan Pantoja. I appreciate you guys are a lovely audience. You're beautiful. And I'm going to read you a real love poem later. But for now, I want to know, do you guys like fucking? Yes! Good. Yes. I think it is just as likely that we're all going to make love, as that we're going to blow each other up. Yeah, and don't let anybody fucking tell you different. That's an absurd thing. We can all just fucking be like, yes. Like China, yes, I love you, China. Like Russia, yes, I love you, Russia. All of them. Love them all. I'll tell you, it'll be a lot better. God damn it. Can I get an amen? Fucking. Okay, good. God bless it. I'll tell you this, though, like, how many of us, I watch too much porn? Is anybody out there? See, there's some hands in the air. We're doing it too much. It starts off so innocent, just like, I'm just going to watch like a little blowjob porn. It's no big deal, And then the next thing you know, like, they're walking in with dildos on. I don't like, and you're like, I should turn it off, but, I'm not gonna. but I mean, I think that is better though. We need to we could just be actually fucking though. We don't need all this porn. I think it's wrecking a lot of shit, right? Yeah? I mean, like, I think I'm gonna make a vow tonight, like, to watch less of the shit. I mean, I'll probably watch it tonight. I'm not gonna, but I mean, like, later I'm gonna stop though. The weird stuff, I don't know. There's that fucking Ivy League doctor is like, there's nothing normal about sex. That's what he did that 20-year study, and he's like, everybody fucks different. That's what I could have told him that from day one, like, but he did the study, so it's out there. All right, should I read like a real love poem though? Yeah. Okay. It's in this Hello Kitty book, but this is the real deal though, 'cause love's fucking messy. There's fucking and then there's love, you know what I'm saying?
Also, I think this is the best November poem ever written. You can, fuck November. I miss my son, November. You punch drunk, November. You cocksucker, November. Hot mess, November. You dog biting, crotch sleeping, couch sleeping, November. And in the midst of it all, a flower, November. Soft and pure, November. That sexy chaos, November. And you gave me some beauty, November. A break, November. And I see you, November. You're faking it, November. You don't really love me, November. But I still do love November. I do care, November. I am worth it, November. You'll not kill me, November. My heart will not submit, November. And we will meet again, my sweet November. And I will kiss your face, November. And I will welcome you in, November. And I will sing your troubles away, November. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And I forgive you, November. But I'm not going to forget you, November.
Thank you, Pan. If you haven't already heard, we have a signature drink up at the bar called the Honeydripper. And it is delicious, and it is $5. Our next secret is, I am infatuated with my ex, sad face. All right, please welcome Brad Hackton.
Yes, my name is Brad. No relation to Reno Brad. I actually moved here not too long ago from California. And I read about this poetry reading and talks about embodied spirituality is kind of something up my alley. So I wrote a poem that kind of celebrates body diversity. It's called My Spartan Body. I love my Spartan body, long, lean, muscular, carrying nothing in excess. But what I love best about this Spartan body lies complementary to you. My angles to your curves, my length to your width, my hardness against your softness, my leanness to your opulence. I love my Spartan body, and pressed into military service, I'll fight for you and for country and for the nations united. Give me a spear or an M16 in rank among comrades, holding the defensive line, and pressed in battle, I'll die for you and for country and for the nations united. I'll die but to live in Spartan glory. That is to live, as a Spartan poet said long ago, in men's regret and women's tears. Then again, should the commander call retreat, I shall withdraw for you, dignified or otherwise. And should they sound the call to flee, I'll run too, for as this Spartan body lends itself more to speed than strength, I'll turn Spartan tail, and I'll run for country and the nations united, or more to point, I'll run for you. More to loving than fighting, the Spartan body lies best in place, pressed into you. Thanks.
Very nice. Thank you. Okay, now I've got a secret that isn't particularly sexy. It says, first kiss. When he asked if he could, I said no, but he did it anyway. Can we get a fuck you? Okay. Please welcome Clarice El-Mukhtar.
Good evening. So my poems are a little autobiographical because that's how I process life. These are both from kind of an ongoing situation. The first is without a title currently. I want you to come to me and find me naked beneath my thobe. See my body, this human body, its curves and scars, a reflection of the heart. See its curves, voluptuous, feminine, perhaps overly so. A few extra here and there, the shape of a woman. Perfect in imperfection? Could you be mesmerized by the roundness of my breast? Would you? See its curves, evidence of heaviness carried inside, evidence of emotion eaten soft. The muscles roll beneath in opposition to your hardness, your tightness. See its scars, how they fade with time, memories of an island, memories of a home, proof of weakness under the graze of a razor. See its scars, from whence blood came. The skin will heal, but sometimes the pain remains. Reflections of a shattered heart, yearning to be rebuilt. Would you be gentle and kind? Would you show tenderness? Could you? I want you to come to me and hold my naked body. Behold my softness and my strength, my human body, the curves and scars, a reflection of yourself. Thank you. This one was actually a challenge. The last reading I went to, there was a challenge to take one or two words or phrases that we'd heard another poet read, and then to create our own. So the title is Exquisite, Irresistible. Exquisite was my word from the challenge. Irresistible was straight from the mouth of the inspiration for this poem. I have come to lie down on my bed, to open my mouth, to open my legs, but I fear for my heart, fear being further torn apart. It was better when we felt exquisite, you left calling me irresistible. But is it me you like so much? Or the promise of sex, a fog surrounding us, a hex? Please don't be manipulative. There's nothing worse than to be thrown away by the ones you love. Spare me the bluff. Your eyes and body are exquisite. Sweetness is irresistible. Touch me like music. Sing me like a love song. I crave your hug, deep and long. I have come to lie down on my bed, to open my legs, to open my mouth. But I fear for my heart, fear being further torn apart. We could be exquisite. Together, we'd be irresistible, like 1,000 points of light. I believe the human heart has infinite capacity for passion to start.
Outstanding. All right. Another secret, and if you have any more, just hold them up and I will kind of come around and pick them off of you. I am scared to love someone as much as him. I would say tonight all those bets should be off. If there is someone in the room that you feel this way about, we've had a couple of those, use this opportunity to have a couple drinks and get up here and tell them. Okay, next please welcome Orlando O.
Everybody can hear me? Yeah. All right, this is like my first time writing an erotic poem. Please bear with me. I feel kind of giggly, but if you are a woman, every time I say her, you could imagine it's you. If you're a guy and it doesn't weird you out, fuck it, you could do that shit too. All right, so here we go. We're going to do this, all right. Liquor in my liver as I liquor clitoris. This is us, love and lust. Thrust my darkness into a goddess space. Embrace lace. Place my hands upon her waist. Parts, hearts cold in the wind. Warmed up next to your skin. Your touch, too much. The vision of us for description in words. I want to be a poet. Where art thou? I'm sorry I lost it in you. My words, they fall short like baby's hairs on the back of your neck. Short like whispers in my ear. Too deep to describe like breaths we take together. The feeling inside of your body. Deep like the dark parts of your eyes. Deep like my voice when I don't speak in words. Deep like the ends of your mouth where the top meets bottom lip. Hips curve and move like sand dunes, the landscape of your femininity, opacity of your frame. Thick like liquid chocolate, dripped droplets on my tongue. Humid as breath from my lung. Your sounds are godly, probably listening to the beats in my chest. I'm blessed by the fragrance of your sweat, softness of your breasts. Put myself to the test between your thighs, look in your eyes when I'm inside. I rise to the occasion, tickling sensation like shivers through my whole self. I'm hot and cold, gotta compose myself. Relax, I can't look past your neck. Lost are words, the face of yours, movement I'm using is making her weak. I can feel her body coming close to me. Skin against mine, flow like rhyme. Connect like life and death, one part in two pieces. Breasts turn to hot breezes she pleases. Eases me into a place I taste on my tongue still. Spilled drops on my face, full of her flesh, look at her now. Teeth now, she's biting her lips. Give her kisses on her necks and nipples. Sexual bliss ripples. Can't resist my urges to bite her on the ass and turn her over. She calls out baby, papi, and I know love making has no official language, but I swear if it did, it would have to be Spanish, because cuando me habla así, I swear it would be Spanish, because cuando me habla así, I swear she's taking advantage of me. Y qué rico se siente el tocar su cuerpo, su piel suave, caliente por dentro. Color de almendra, pelo negro, labios llenos, ojos hondos. She's a vessel, a reflection of my soul, a piece of me to hold. I'ma call it like I see it. I ain't the best lover, but this moment is like no other, before or after. I don't know who had her, but she's mine right now, and that's all that matters. That's all that matters. I usually write revolutionary shit, so I'm going to kind of read one that's kind of revolutionary, but it has something to deal with, like, just love being a community that surpasses sexes and, like, anything beyond that. So I'm just going to go with it, and hopefully you guys like it. I've lived through hate crimes, and that ain't the worst part. I'm still here surviving, living with two hearts. When death comes close, you feel way more aliver. Never a victim, always survivor. But sometimes it's like it tears me in two parts. People divided. Where did this shit start? Could it be the difference in the color of my skin? That's just my kin. What's it about? Something else? What have you felt? Maybe it's been heritage or your origins. This fool's got orange skin, but people be claiming him. Visual is your pigmentation. Sexual, your orientation. Closed-minded people got imagination. Really think that we're different. What's the equation? Because math is the only language that's universal. It's written in your soul, all up in this verse flow. And I got mad love for all of my kin. Ain't talking about hate, ain't talking about skin. Because violence ain't always the worst part. The silence is ugly, reflecting the closed hearts. And the YouTube comments by the video trolls, scared of the light, racist gringos, or individuals you thought were your friends and they voted for Trump, now you know where they stand? What's the plan for people that can't keep it real? They keep finding a fence, saying it's just an illusion, but they building a fence, and they're killing our dreams, literally, planting division instead of trees. Preach unity and hypocrisy because they got a problem with people like me. POCs, our communities, gentrification, hipsters in these. They say some funny shit, like all lives matter. I don't see color, please excuse my laughter. From the recreators of white chocolates, I bring you that new shit. Try white Jesus. What's wrong with brawn? It's pretty defined. I guess that ain't just a problem of mine, because Jesus for real, they painted him white. They couldn't stand his original sight. Had a light in his brown skin. It must be a sin even for him. Yeah, even for him to exist POC in a white power system. Blaming the victim, the usual gents that labeled us spics for jumping a fence. But we've been here long. We ain't immigrants. Our roots are too strong. They don't teach you this. So I'm going to do it. Come on, let's sing along. Let's sing a song. Y'all want to sing a song? Nobody's illegal because we're all just people. Didn't you say we're all just people? You said we're all just people, and we all just people. Nobody's illegal when we're all just people. Said we're all just people. Said we're all just people. Yeah, we're all just people. We're all just people. We're all just people. When we're all just people. Because all lives matter when ours matter too. Because we're human too. Yeah, we're human too. We also get hungry and we ain't taking your food. We got love for all people. We stay cooking for you. And everyone else, we know what love is. We sharing the wealth. Love is a movement. Struggle made us strong. It might have made us hard, but we gentle peoples, just look at us art. Look at our art, our culture, our rhythm, our music, our hearts. You say you got love for us. Let's see the star. Yeah, let's see the start. Let's begin with tolerance, then acceptance, then embracement. How about celebration? Because you say you don't see color, and that's not what we need. That's not what we mean. We want to be seen. We on the same team, team diversity. Our beauty like stars in the darkest of nights. How boring would it be if we were the same lights? And I know that we are. I know that. Because we are the same. But let's embrace the way that we came here. Because life would be tame if there was no differences. We wouldn't exist without life's gradiences. And we're loving passion that's differences bring. On a molecular level, we may be not even because everything's special. Maybe we're the same thing. We got tall, we got short, multicolored people. We don't want nothing else but to be treated as equal. No privilege or pedestal, racism sequel. Could it be something better, like maybe like racism's prequel? Because I'm sure that sometime, maybe before we were one, from the roof to the floor, silence is violence, so let's sing some love. Remember we're stardust that came from above? So let's sing some love. One love, one love, one love, one love. Sing along. One love, one love, one love, one love. Sing along. One love, one love, one love, one love, one love.
Oh man, thank you, Orlando. All right, where did Megan go? Is she going to read that poem? Have we spoke to her about this? About the poem that she found for you. Yes, she did. Let's go. Let's go, Megan. Yes. Yes. While Megan's coming up, I want to let you know this is the perfect time that tomorrow is Small Business Saturday. And various places around town are celebrating, including Dickerson Road and West Street Market. And Megan can tell you anything you need to know about what's happening at West Street Market. So if you have questions after her performance, please find her and ask her. They have a whole bunch of stuff going on over there tomorrow, starting at 1. Is that right?
Yes, it starts at 1.
Okay.
From 1 to 7, we have an artisan marketplace with like lots of local artists and vendors and farmers offering CSA baskets, and all of our business owners are going to be open early too, so come and eat and drink and hang out and shop and support local people trying to do their thing. And then from 6 to 10 in the evening, we have live music, so it'll be chill and
Very
good.
nice. All right, take it away, Megan.
This is Sight Unseen from my friend Isabel. Oh, better be. Do away with me. Bite my lips, claw my skin, deep enough to scratch my soul. Tell me you want to devour me, digest me, break me down to a molecule and absorb me in, melt over me and cover me in you. Let us drip through the cracks and land in this strange substance called love. That was good. Okay, I found another one. It's a little bit angry, but it's kind of good. And I figured since we had the dick poem, we should probably have a vagina-style poem, too. Hey! It's
called the universe in my vulva. Stop looking at my vulva, you pervert. You're jealous, aren't you? Jealous because the universe is in my vulva. It beckons you, I say. That's why you stare. Your gaze burns a hole right through me. Maybe I remove my jeans and panties while squatting over a mirror, but that's no excuse for not averting your eyes. I know why you sneak your pathetic peeks. You know that emptiness dwells within you. See that empty space where your vulva isn't? That's where your soul would be if you had a vulva, which you do not. And you cannot hug your inner vulva. That's why you objectify me. Hey, you got shit in your ears? I said, stop looking at this vulva. This one, the vulva I'm pointing to. See it? Stop looking at it. What am I? Some kind of easily pinched Hooters waitress? Some vulva that exists for your sick pleasure? Is that all I am? You prick. You fucking stupid drooling meathead pig. You just don't get it. And you never will. Maybe I should be grateful that you and the penisocracy allows me to write at all. I know that deep down you fear my vulva. You fear the caged energies that live within my vulva. And you fear the universe in my vulva. Got it now, asshole? Oh, that was fun. Thank you.
Oh, man. Yes, yes, yes. Where is Elvis? Did Elvis not show tonight after all of the shit talking that he did? He is not here. Oh, it's going down. Okay. That concludes our list for breeders for tonight. However, we're going to be here for a while. So if you have any interest in getting up and reading or singing or dancing or anything love, sex, erotic, whatever related, have that mic right now. Thank you all for coming out. We have had a lot of fun. Look for us on Facebook, Sierra Literary Cooperative. We are going to be probably doing the next one in February, so stay tuned for that information. Thank you very much. I'm just going to let people take the mic at will and retire. Thank you.
So I found a poem I thought I was doing the second time. This one's a little less revolutionary. I'm trying to spit some shit that'll bring us together. Cool like AC, warm like a winter sweater. But I'ma keep it real, fuck Donald Trump. Wanna make the country great again? Then get the fuck out with all of his supporters. Y'all ain't from here, came on Mayflowers. Pilgrims, descendants, diseased immigrants. I wish that back then my people built a fence, electric voltage. Both these dickheads like syphilis. We ain't no immigrants, we from this continent, southern tips of northern hemispheres. Racists got no love, they live a life of fear. Beer in my gut with apocalypse near. Fuck Donald Trump, it's what you're gonna hear. Out my face, out my house, I stay living here. Love is universal. This is where it gets a little bit more of a love poem. Love is universal, shout out to the queers. LGBTQIAPK. If you hating on gays, then listen when I say homophobes are more likely to be in the closet. And that's okay, y'all. Love is beautiful. But don't make yourself hate a problem for the world, because that's just fucked up. Because gay rights are human rights, nothing new. Check Western Civ. Check out the views. The glory of the Romans, Praetorian Guards. Lots of these soldiers were loving hard. But they was still strong. Don't get me started on the Greeks. History will speak if knowledge is what you speak. You got to understand the truth is going to be what it needs to be. From shining sea to shining sea, we need more understanding. Because these hate crimes is fucked up. See what's happening? Transgenders get victimized to the highest degree. How's that affect us? Our humanity's at stake. You don't got to be LGBTQIAPK to hear the realness in what I state. Got to understand it's an atrocity. If you want to be straight, good for you. That's great. I am too. Just realize A guy kissing another dude isn't really affecting you. It's got nothing to do with you. Kind of egotistical, isn't it? And insecure. If it makes you feel uncomfortable, the problem is yours. And if you're feeling something, yo, that's fine too. The most important love is the love of you. The most important love is the love of you. The most important love is the love of you. Ain't the most important love the love of you? Because when you love on yourself, you won't hate on another. We a global family because the earth is our mother. When we show love to each other, we show love to our mother. Check it out. I'm going to say it loud. Show the love in your heart like the rain from the clouds. Let it out. Because silence is violence. So let your love rain out. Let it out. And let it out. And let it out. 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 Let's let that love out.
So I like Orlando's poem about spreading love, so here's a poem about that. All right. Misunderstood. Do what I can, not what I should.